Alright guys, so I want to do a quick comparison real fast here. I haven't seen this on the internet, or on YouTube rather. This shoe right here is the actual 96, the very first release of the Reebok Question. And you can already see, as you can already see, there's a major difference here with the toe box. This is what we're mostly used to seeing on the Reebok Question, and there's a lot of differences that I'll discuss here with the original shoe. I do have to apologize again. This is the very first release of the Reebok Question from 1996. I did some light cleaning on the shoe, but ultimately they're not quite as, while they have held up very well. That's one thing that I'll say. There's a difference between shoes in the 90s and, product of today. We've got a little bit of separation going on here, the real suede. And, you can see here. So just due to age, I didn't want to do too heavy of a cleaning on these, but they're definitely good enough that we can just do this comparison real fast. So to start, again, this is the 96 shoe, and we'll just do a few things here. So the comparison I'm doing here, this pair is the 2020 or 21, excuse me, release, where they actually came back out with the, true to OG kind of accents and things of that nature, and even with the blue on the bottom. This was a size 11. These are well worn, and this is a newer, another pair of the same, the 2021. But this pair is near dead stock. They've been worn 3 or 4 times, but they're a size 12 as well. The 11 just doesn't fit me that well anymore. But at any rate, I just wanted to do a quick comparison with the condition, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But just to start, if you can see here, let's do this actually. The shape of the shoe, not only is it just the toe box here, and I don't know if they changed this to this because of, I don't know if maybe his foot was coming. I know like with one of the Jordans, like the 6 or 5, Mike's foot was actually bursting through the toe box. And they, I think it was actually the 5, because the 5 has a stitch in, but I don't know if it may have been that kind of situation to why they went to that design. I personally prefer this. I like this toe cap, and if you look at some of the OG pictures of Allen back in 96, but the shape of the shoe is quite similar, besides that toe box. But the only thing is the OG, and if you can kind of pick it up here, it's a bit of a narrower kind of shoe. And you can see right here how this is going straight up like that. And then with the retros, you see how it's curved, and you can see it's actually stitched that way, curved all the way down. With this one is much more, I mean, it's uniform. It's curved as well, but it's just a lot more straight. And one thing I want to note, the tongue is actually stitched. It's stitched right there, so it keeps the tongue in line a lot. And you can see it's literally almost standing up. On the retros, it's stitched like pretty much just like right here. So you see that? So I don't know why they didn't maintain this kind of construction. It's stitched literally to right there, if you can see that. So that's one thing that contributes to the shape of the shoe, because I mean that's pretty much why this is so parallel here, and then this one is kind of a lot more loose and curved. Now, wearing the shoe, one of the things I know that a lot of people are probably going to be curious about is the hexalite. Now, well, let me do the materials first, because one thing I will say regarding the materials, and again, this is the original 96. We all know that the original you know, the original stuff is always made with really good materials, and Reeboks do very good retros. This is definitely a testament to that statement. The leathers here are virtually identical, and I'll get up on here. This is the OG, and you can kind of see the grain there. And then this is the retro. And again, this pair is well worn and have actually been washed hot. And I'll get into that here in a second. But Reebok, though, I just wanted to touch on that because Reebok, they do some outstanding retros as far as the question. I know there have been a few that have been not so great, but as far as materials and build quality, Reebok is absolutely A1. I must say, and again, like I was saying before, this pair right here has been washed hot, extra hot, and I was kind of afraid, but you know, again, I had this an extra pair, so I just said, let me just try it out, and they have zero separation. I don't think this is more like a nubuck because it didn't really, nothing really got compromised in terms of the material. So I mean, I don't know that I would prefer the actual suede. You can see how nasty it's gotten and nappy over this. I mean, it's your preference or whatnot. And you can kind of see even over here. See the behind it. So it's not really dyed all the way through. The eyelets, I mean, it's exactly identical, and these have held up. The tongue, the actual mesh part on the tongue, pretty much identical. So let's get into some of the differences here. You see here I can actually compare it to this one. Grab the newer one. And as the new one, as it ages, it'll lighten out like that, I'm sure. And here I'll actually put put this one up to it as well. See how this one's gotten kind of older. Both of these are the 2022. See how it's kind of getting tanned out. It's getting darker, but so. All is well there. Now here's the here's where we start getting to the difference, and we could actually start here from the sole. This hexalite. So there's a lot of conjecture regarding the hexalite, this cushioning system, if you will. Now, one thing that I'll point out right off the bat is this, and let me put this one up to it right here. The structure on the OG was actually literally a structure, and it's pretty much flush against the window, if you will. This on the new, see how this is pretty much just a molding behind a window. If you could see this is an actual like structure. So I mean, the crazy thing, and I just got to be honest with you guys, and you see right here. So real quick though, the panel itself, you can see that same thing is there, and then right here. The panel itself though, just gonna keep it funky real fast here. I know that it has the front window and the back. These are not functional though. So I know there's been a lot of myths and things like that regarding this shoe, regarding the hexalite. People often mistake it for the DMX, and they say, you know, a bunch of crazy stuff. And they are wildly comfortable, but this is a case where these were wildly comfortable for, you know, their time. You know what I'm saying? And even a lot of the retros, the retros maintained this. But somewhere in like the mid 2000s, they went to just this kind of, you know, thing here. But in terms of the actual functionality, this piece is literally just a heel unit right here. there's no forefoot unit. And that is also true for the retros as well. The retros is just the same. I don't want to take the let me see if this one's fastened down pretty. Yeah, I really don't want to take this out. You wouldn't really be able to see it, but it's just a single unit here in the heel. Now, as far as actual comfort, if we're being completely honest, I have worn both of these shoes. They are almost identical in terms of the actual Hexalite comfort. I just have to be honest with you. I know a lot of people say, oh, the retros, you know, they're like walking on boards, you know what I mean? And you know, the OG was so much better, but you have to remember, like, this is based on, you know, how they felt at the time. So like shoes like today, like a lot of the shoes like the Zoom Airs and, you know, things of that nature, like and you know, Cloud Foam and, you know, you name it, they're wildly more comfortable. But the part that it most lends to the comfort of these questions, the originals, and a lot of the retros up to like the mid 2000s, is the insole. Now it is secured down there, but if you could see that, it's like 2 layers. So you have this top layer, which is what you still see on the retros, but there's also this thick, if you can see that, it's like a thick foam. It's basically like 2 insoles in the shoe. And again, you see that, they're old, and but it is, you know, it's adhesive down. I don't want to pull it out and destroy the shoe, but you can see it from right there. It's basically 2 layers, like a 2-layer type insole. So that's what really lends mostly to the comfort of these shoes. So I mean, these are probably a little bit more comfortable because of that. But as far as like when you're walking around, when you're moving around and stuff, it's really like the Hexalite and the whole setup is really no different. I just have to be honest with you. It's really no different on the retro. But I don't understand why they wouldn't just do that same thing with the dual layer type insole, because that's what's really lending to the comfort for the most part. So again, I can't stress this enough as far as like the materials and build quality. You just look at that leather. This pair, again, this is the pair that's well worn. I have washed these, were in horrible condition, super dirty, and I washed these extra hot on like the highest setting on my washer, like for sanitize. Sanitize is literally the name of the setting. It's like 3 hours extra hot, and there was really no kind of separation or anything like that. Oh, real quick though, the laces, man. One of the things that I don't get is, so this is the retro that they did. That you know, pretty much to be on par. It's for the anniversary celebration of the original release. So literally, this is supposed to be literally a 1-to-1 retro of the original shoe, which we see there's some differences, but the laces, this is the OG lace right here. It's got silver speckles. It's the same type of lace as this, but on the retro they did blue speckles in the lace, which I don't understand why they just wouldn't do the silver, because that would have been right on par. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's the same kind of lace, you know, the material and all that. But at any rate, you know, the retro is cool, it's nice, but again, like I said, man, I know we always say, you know, hey, the originals were much better. You know, the retros, they do leave too much to be desired. But you know, in this case, man, it's really not true. Again, like, you know, for the time, yes, these were just crazy in terms of comfort and everything else, but if we're keeping it funky, man, the materials, and like I just said, this pair right here has been through it, and there's literally no type of separation anywhere. Nothing. I mean, they've held up just absolutely outstanding. Play basketball, indoor, outdoor, everything, you name it. But you know, the materials, the build, everything, man. Reebok, they truly do. They do a hell of a job. I got to give it to them. And this is, again, this is a 1-to-1 comparison of the original shoe, you know, and the retro shoe. So let me know any of your thoughts. I'm trying to think, man. I hope I'm not missing anything. The shape and everything, you know, the cut is just a little bit different. This just has a more wider, kind of curvier, kind of molding to it. This shoe is just straight up and narrow. You know what I mean? That's and when you put them on, you could really feel that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I hope I didn't miss anything. Let me know if there's anything. Oh, look at that. We've got a stitch there. If there's anything that you want me to cover regarding the shoe. Again, I haven't seen anybody with this original shoe. I've seen a lot of the retros, the mid 2000s, but this is the original release of the shoe. You know, with the and here's where is the. Pull this out real quick if you want to try to reference this in any way. Yeah, I just haven't seen anybody that's had an original pair, so I just want to take this opportunity to get some footage here and do a quick comparison. But yeah, oh, and real quick, this kind of pleathery. A lot of people ask, why don't they just keep the real leather throughout? It's the same on the original, and you can see how it's worn through here on the tongue. See that? So they're staying true to form. It's the exact same here on the original. So, all right, let me know if you want me to cover anything else, and I'll do another upload if anybody has any questions or anything like that. All right, peace.